do you know what it takes to be the best? Because we do.
The Elite Shoutcasting Network.
Are you listening?
GameStar Radio would like to advise that this live shoutcast may contain coarse language and content that may be unsuitable for people under the age of 15.
This GameStar Shoutcast is proudly sponsored by ArseyNimz, the place to go for all the latest PC and console news, reviews and downloads. So check out arseynimz.com for all the info.
ArseyNimz, helping you be a part of Australia's games community.
Gamer, do you know what it takes to be the best? Because we do.
The Elite Shoutcasting Network.
Are you listening?
Sure are listening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a Games to Shoutcast. My name's ArseyNimz. It is a pleasure to have you along here. It is GameArena. It's a bit of a broadcast affair, if you will. We're broadcasting a game on broadcast, which is just going to be broadcasted to the broadcastness of broadcasting. But yeah, g'day, Conrad.
I love the randomness. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a lol fest, I reckon, here on broadcast. So we're just waiting on Arsey to ready up, and once then we'll get into it. We've got the Brotherhood. I think defending against the Space Ghost. So it's
what I'm waiting for is you to stop talking, so I can tell everybody that I'm about to do a demo. So /record if you're starting up in demo land. Okay, go now, because I've just started. I'll push F and Conrad can carry on his little spiel of nothingness that really nobody will be interested in, because it's all about two teams. Okay, go.
Yeah, it's all about it's all about one team versus another team on a map, and that's pretty much the essence of the shoutcast. But I'll run you through the teams for the Space Ghost, who are on attack for the first round. Is Pinion. It's Pinion, Vessia, Eddie Spitty, Xeon, and Sage. And as we roll over into the first round, it looks like the bomb is going over to A. In fact, it's right around the side of the foyer. Tech takes down a double nade, taking down Pinion and Sage, and that's two men down for the Space Ghost. But it is a 5v4 situation. But sorry, Eddie Spitty takes down Now You Don't. Mechanic on Xeon. Vessia being down by Tech again. So that man's got a UAV. He's up on the top of the foyer as he just saw a man run across outside. It was the last man for the Space Ghost. It is the Eddie Spitty. He's running down. He's going to move into the bottom of the bathroom now. He's going to rotate. He's got to pick up that bomb, which is sitting right over in the foyer. Oh, he spams up the mechanic, who's sitting on top of the toilet seat taking dump, and he moves outside into the foyer and is running around. Oh, he misses the ferret as it gets absolutely hammered by the 47. And first round goes to the Brotherhood.
Indeed, it's, yes, lol. I'm going to pull up the Eddie Spitty right now, and I do hope he continues to fail like he just did then. He picked himself up 2 kills, but I'm not giving you anything just yet, Eddie. He has tried to prove a point to Arsey after the cast the other week that the G36 with an ACOG can actually pwn up. Right now, I'm thinking he's shit out of it. But either way, we rock and roll out on the offense once again, ladies and gentlemen. The Space Ghosts are pushing on over. They've spread themselves quite widely across the map. You've got 3 over pushing over to the left-hand side, over towards the foyer, the lobby, if you will. And they're quite bits and pieces, so there's no real support going on with the two teams, which is a bit dangerous for anybody going through these broadcast rooms, because there is a lot of little alleyways, nooks and crannies that you can be taken down in, and you really need a follow-up man. So just something to watch out there for the Space Ghost as Eddie Spitty drops the tick once again, showing Arsey that he can use an ACOG on a G36, but look, I'm not going to give him anything until the bitter end, but either way, so as the Space Ghosts push on down, they get a free run down into that bottom B bomb site. It's literally just a walk in the park for them, and they've also gotten over to the A bomb site as well, so nope, I think they're going B, are they? Yeah, Sage gets the bomb downy, so the bomb goes down at A, in fact, because I am a downy, and I get the bomb sites mixed up around the wrong way. So the A bomb site is down in the broadcast room, and the B is obviously over in the control room. So shots go ringing out from Xeon as he manages to tag the player accordingly, but doesn't take him down. Eventually takes down the Farik. And Eddie Spitty, he gets taken down as well. That was by the No You Don't, or Now You Don't, with the AK-47. So it's a 4-on-1 situation, all left in the hands of the Now You Don't, and he gets taken down. Xeon is the man who takes him down. M16 is the weapon of choice. 1 round apiece on the Gamer scoreboard as both teams get themselves on the board, which is always happy days when that happens, C-RAD. You've got to be happy when you've got a point on the board.
Yeah, that's right. Then the old Cool Pants are safe. when you're getting friggin' absolutely owned. But Tick's still got his UAV that he saved up from that first round. He's just firing across towards the Xeon, who's sitting outside the front of the foyer. Sage goes down to the mechanic straight out, and there's a few shots being exchanged outside of the front foyer. Oh, Eddie Spetty goes down to Tick's nade, and Tick was sitting in the B. He's in B hallway now. So he's just protecting that there, looking across towards the entrance, so the bottom of an attack on B. But he's not going to find too much action there, as Now You Don't takes down Pinion, and he's just protecting the green room over at A. So the A, it looks like an A attack, or at least it was an A attack. As I just check where the bomb is, it's currently. I have absolutely no idea. It is over at A. In fact, it's right above Now You Don't. And Vesia throws a nade, and goes down to Now You Don't. He takes down the Xeon as well. And good timing there by Now You Don't with his P90. He runs upstairs right as Vesia was cooking a nade, and just took out both those players.
Yeah, the only thing I'm going to say about the use of the P90s, he's got it wrong. He should have a silencer on the end of that, not the red dot, which is what he's carrying at the moment. Either way, we'll let him carry on with his little spam cannon, and he can have some fun in games. Looks like we've got a 4-man run over towards the B side this time around. Sorry, A side, RC. Wakey handoff Snaky, as it looks like one of them is going to break off into the toilet area. Eddie Spitty pushes on up, so does the Sage, and the Vesia, he holds back with his weapon. Oh, the LMG goes down here as the mechanic drops him with the 4 carbine, and that is some good work from the mechanic here, just dropping the man with the real monster spamming cannon as a player runs in. The Farik takes down the Pinion, so the Farik doing some excellent work over on that stairwell side, which is what he's covering. Just watching the Tick here, he is down inside that control room. He throws out a nade, cooks it slightly and then throws it on up. It's a 4-on-2 situation in favour of the Brotherhood right now. They've got a G36 with the red dot on the Tick right now. The mechanic, he's holding the M4 carbine, as I stated earlier. And Now You Don't, he's got himself that P90 with the red dot as he throws out a stun grenade and a nade out at the same time. The stun grenade going in the slightly wrong direction. The Sage takes out the Tick. Whole lot of shots get fired over towards the Sage as he takes out Mechanic just after Mechanic had taken down the Xeon. Now You Don't's trying to turn around so slowly. He finally gets himself pivoted, and he just waits for the player to pop around the corner and say hello to him as he reloads at the wrong time just as the player comes around the corner, and he had to bail inside to the boardroom. He still waits. He still watches. No, the player's disappeared back around the corner again, so he's following him. Sage is the player who's still standing. Hits a 1-on-2 situation. The Sage has the bomb in hand and goes past over towards that B bomb site, standing above it right at this point in time. Just he's ready for a drop down to the control room. The Farik is over inside the data room, so he is ready and waiting. Now You Don't start to push on up towards the player concerned. Farik meets him down the bottom and takes him down as he's pushing over towards the A bomb site inside the green room, and down you go, son. So 3 rounds to 1 on this gamer scoreboard. The Brotherhood taking a nice little lead here, despite the fact they're missing a man in the server. They are on defense, C-RAD, the Brotherhood, but I don't know. I wouldn't say that the defense gets a bit of run this side. I think this is one of those maps where you can stuff it up either side.
Yeah, I agree. I couldn't agree any more than what exactly what you said. Is it really does depend on the strats of the teams, and either way, it can. The only hard part really is getting past the nades on attack and getting that bomb across to B. But as we noticed, the Space Ghosts are taking this bomb to the A bomb site every single time. As Pinion takes the first, takes Now You Don't down right after he took down the Tick as well. So he's got both the kills for this round, and it's all left up to Ferric and the Mechanic. As Mechanic goes down to Eddie Spetty, and Sage goes down to Ferric's Farik. His P90 with the red dot. He's sitting over in the green room as the entire Space Ghost team is converging around him. He's just going to sit in the alcove just underneath the stairs of the green room and just wait until he hits that bomb plant because he knows. No, he moves out. He spams it up, takes down Xeon. He's moving out into the main broadcast room. He's going to rotate around to the other entrance to A. As he just covers his back. There's everyone looking at him as Vesia cooks a nice little nade and throws it down to Farik to catch in his mouth, and he does so.
Yeah, nice way to get on the board there from the Vesia as that nade went thrown firing on out there and got picked up quite nicely. So it's a yeah, I missed the score, but either way, just watching the rock and roll here. I was trying to flick through the players to see what weapons they had, or sorry, scoot over the players to see what weapons they had. The LMG still being carried out by Visya, so Visya is sort of not doing too well because of that LMG-ness. And it's not really an LMG conducive map unless you get into that Overwatch position up the top, and he seems to be doing the spam spot down the bottom where you just bang it through the wall, and then he seems to languish thereafter, so I think he's probably just got his positioning all wrong for the use of that LMG at this stage. But shots are ringing out, G36 is firing everywhere you like, not through the tick, it's Eddie Spitty who's throwing those bullets out. The mechanic managed to survive as he's bleeding hard and bleeding very hard. Sage gets the bomb down, he over at the B side, so the plant is fast and furious over down the bottom inside the control room, so the movements will now start to occur as a bit of a smoke is going up to the top deck as Mechanic starts to push his way through. Eddie Spitty takes out the Farik, and then the shots go out. Xeon gets taken down by the Mechanic. Visya takes out Tick. Pinion takes out Now You Don't. And Now You Don't also took out, just prior to that, I think he took out Eddie Spitty. Yes, he did. As another kill comes out from the Visya. He grabs his LMG and it finally sticks the bullets where the sun don't shine. Down goes the Mechanic, and another round goes in favour of the Space Ghost to tie it back up again. 3 rounds apiece on the Gamer scoreboard.
Yeah, and I'm going to have to check who's actually attacking. I think it is the Space Ghost attacking the Brotherhood at the moment, but I couldn't be too sure. But if it is that way, then the Brotherhood only have to get 10 rounds in order to hold their position. So because of that PAM 4, as Tick gets some heavy lag as he tries to go through near the B entrance hallway there. He seems to be doing a bit better now as the Mechanic takes some heavy fire as well, but gets the upper hand on the Pinion, takes him down. And earlier on we saw the Xeon go down to Freak's pronad there, straight up off the bat. And I'm just watching the Farik now. He's in the main hallway, main broadcaster, and Sage takes down Tick. He's currently moving across to that A room site with his teammate Vesya, and he's got the bomb. They're going to probably go A, but they're going to move through the bottom and through the main broadcaster, and they're going to find a couple of the Brotherhood men. Farik seen 2 of them. He takes his time and he takes down the Sage. He runs out of ammo and gets hammered from behind by the Eddie Spetty, who jumped out of the office room just above him just moments before, and that man there had I think it was an LMG, but he got a headshot on the man. So no, it wasn't. It was the ACOG with the G36 ACOG. So Eddie Spetty now moving across. He's in the green room, just right next to the A bomb site. The bomb is right next to the bomb site. As Mechanic takes down Eddie Spetty and Vesya in one foul sweep as they stack up on the doorway. And the Mechanic was sitting right next to the bomb site, protecting it very well and covering that doorway quite efficiently.
Yes, indeed. So another round goes in favour of the Brotherhood. They grab one back, so 4 rounds to 3. Still waiting on their 5th player to come and join them and help them out. And I hesitate to say that maybe, just maybe, because you never know, sometimes the loss of that 5th man can actually step a team up. But maybe this could be a completely different story. It could be even harder for Space Ghost if that 5th man was in. Either way, the Tick takes out the Pinion with a headshot to start us off in the round. The Tick carrying that G36, and he's just sort of floating inside down the bottom, inside the building behind the reception desk in the lobby, sort of thing, just looking out toward the lobby area and taking a few shots with that red dot on the G36. So he just goes and hides around the corner. He's watching and waiting. He thinks he hears somebody upstairs. He throws up a bit of a smoke up to block them out so he doesn't get taken down. Well, he's lying down around the computers in the middle of the main area there, the main broadcast area, and he's just watching out. It's a 3-on-3 situation here because while we've been watching the Tick, Mechanic took out Sage and Xeon took out the Mechanic, so it's a 3-on-3 situation with the bomb looking like it's slowly but surely making its way across towards the A side. So Eddie Spitty is the man carrying it. He's managed to pick himself up an AK-47. Now, I'm not sure if he's given away the G36 to an ACOG, in which case I'll say lol on you, Sunshine, as the Tick takes down the player concerned, and he does have the G36 on the back, so he's picked up an AK and put the G36 on the back, so be up to him as SG's Xeon takes out the Tick, yes it was, and then Farik takes out Vesya. So it's now a 2-on-1 situation as Now You Don't trying to block the Xeon from coming in down the bottom of A. He gets taken down. Farik's watching him from out inside the TV room with all those bits and pieces flying around. The nade goes flying out, and Xeon goes for a fake plant. He has time on his side. He goes running out towards the green room. Can't quite see the player. Farik is just waiting for him to go near the bomb site. He sees the bomb site, sees the Farik floating around as he goes in behind the bomb site. Farik just has to bide his time here. as he runs away like a little pansy from the Xeon. Xeon rushes out. He's got to find him. Sees him. Has to reload the MP5. Fail all round. Farik comes away with the win. 5 rounds to 3 on those game of school. But that was great play from Farik. He used the brain, the top 2 inches, and just ran away. But also luring the player, just baiting him out by running back to that doorway and seeing if he was just still going to follow him or not. And yeah, bad luck to Xeon. He pretty much obliged.
Yeah, that is true. And I just checked the challenge. It is the Brotherhood who are actually attacking here tonight. So they're on 5 rounds to 3. They've got the upper hand, and they're playing with 4 players. So good work for them. Sage takes down the first kill. Took down the mechanic, and he takes down the tick from outside the foyer. As Vesya does some damage with the LMG, the SAW, takes down the Freak, and it's a 5v1 situation. All left up to the Now You Don't, who's sitting on top of B with his P90, his spam cannon, as you said at Arsey, and he takes down Eddie Spitty, who's across from him. And it looks like the bomb will be rotated to A. Yes, it is. Stage has just landed as Pinion moves up the stairs to the external, right where Now You Don't was, and took him down with the 47. As Now You Don't went to rotate into A, because obviously the bomb got planted. So the scores are 5 rounds to Brotherhood and 4 rounds to the Space Ghost.
Yeah, the Osgamer Schoolwood says it all at the moment as well. The Farik and the mechanic grabbing 9 kills apiece, 7 kills apiece for the tick, and Now You Don't. They've all got positive or single-figure KDRs. And over on the other side, Eddie Spitty and Sage, they've got 6 kills, but both having 8 deaths at the same time. So the KDRs are all negative on that side, or less than 1, if you will. So just watching the rollout here, just watching to see a whole lot of players go down is what we're seeing. So Xeon's gone down to, that was the M4 carbine of the mechanic. Pinion took down the Farik with his AK-47. The AK-47 and the Eddie Spitty just takes out Farik, and Eddie Spitty also took out Now You Don't off the rollout with his nade. That'll probably be that nade right up the top, out the back of the top of the satellite area. So as I watch the tick bomb push on up, he's got the G36 with the red dot out, and he fails hard on the Pinion as Pinion gets more shots with the AK-47 off towards him. 5 rounds apiece on those game of school as we hit the half. So the GH has come out, but yeah, it's been a very good half from the Brotherhood. Now, I'd suggest that there's probably an advantage to the defensive side on this map. Now, I know what we said earlier, C-RAD, that the defense, or both sides can actually lose it for themselves depending on their various strats. But I'd have to say that I think, looking at it again, that it is a more defensive map, and that's purely just because of the goblin spots you've got in the game, in the map. There's so many open spaces, and there's so many places that you can cover quite happily and quite easily. But I have to say that Brotherhood coming through on offense with only 4 players is going to struggle. I'm just going to call it now, I reckon. Yeah,
I agree. And having watched that this round, this first half pan out, I think you're exactly right, RC. With only 4 players, they're going to find it hard to move into those positions. And Space Ghost, they've obviously got 1 more, so they're going to have that 1-man spare. And the time is on their side, so I think the Space Ghost will. If I was to put any money down right now, I'd put it on the Space Ghost for the defense. But having said that, yeah, it really all depends. Because
just a note on it though, dude. That said, let's not take it away. I mean, we're just looking at the perspective of these 2 teams. Now, let's not take it away that if we had 2 different teams, 2 higher ranked teams playing this map, I have to say that there would probably be a very different strategy going on. So we've also got to take into consideration the player ability and the team ability. And I just think at this stage that these 2 teams are quite evenly matched on ability, but the strategies are clearly a little bit to be beckoned for. I think that if Brotherhood want to do this right, they're going to be 4-man rushing over to the B side and
that's exactly
and just sticking together as a team. Stick together as a team and just camp out that bloody that data center room, and also just inside the control room there, and even in that room prior to the little cafe room prior to that room, and you'll pretty much lock it down, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say exactly that if Brotherhood were to do this strat right with 4 players, they would be opting for a B rush, and with all 4 players rushing to that point, or at least to be able to quickly support it. And as we roll over into the second half, I've just watched Mechanics actually got a UAV for this half to start off this half, so that's going to come in advantage for them as the 5 players from the Space Ghost will be moving into their positions. They'll be able to see that. But as I watch the rollout, that is exactly what they're doing. I see they are moving across to the B bomb site, throwing the nades and the smoke. Looks like they've got exactly what they want to do. In fact, they do. Mechanic jumps through the roof, but gets taken down by the Pinion, who's inside of that server room. He takes down the Farik as well, who tries to get in there. It's a what's a 1v4 situation. Now you don't take down the Pinion, and then goes down to Eddie Spitty, who was sitting on top right next to the aircon vents. So it's a 4v1 situation, all left up to the Tick. The poor man, the Tick, is sitting in the server room. Took down the Vestia and he's rotating through. He's probably going to clear it out a little bit because the bomb site, the bomb is actually down. Oh, Sage comes around the corner as his teammate, the Xeon, was having a bit of a firefight with Tick and distracting him. Sage just peeks around nice and slowly and says, "G'day." Throws a few rounds into his face and ends the round. So the Space Ghosts have taken the lead. But having said that, I think the Brotherhood know what they're doing, Arsey. And what do you think?
Yeah, 6 rounds to 5 on those games of scoreboard is the scoreline at this stage, ladies and gentlemen. It was pretty much 5 apiece at the half. So yeah, they're pushing 2 across and 2 up. No, 2 down, 2 up over towards that B side. So they're probably going to hold on to the B side, and they just need to find that first pick off. That's exactly what the Tick does. He rolls out with his G36 and finds the Pinion, and then Farik backs him up even further and takes out Vestia. So that's the LMG and the cover over at the B side taken down. A nade goes flying in towards the B bomb site. Farik has gone and pushed him, and so has Sage. They're just going to wait for Mechanic to drop one down, and he can get a plant down as Tick takes out Sage. Now you don't takes out the Mechanic with his own nade, so that'll be the bomb down as Xeon goes in the back door. He covering from right at the back in the vending machine in that little tea room or the cafe room. And Xeon is just using that vending machine as a bit of cover right now. He knows it's a solid object and they can't bang away on that, so he's just using it to his advantage. He cops a bit of heat coming from upstairs, and then a bit more heat coming from down the back of the map, and then the Xeon has to reassess his options, and that's exactly what he does. He just holds, reloads, recovers, and gets the MP5 all organised. Now you don't goes in. Oh, Tick comes in around the back door, takes out the player concerned, who was giving them all the grief, and that will be the end of the round. 6 rounds apiece on the ArseyNimz scoreboard. Brotherhood executing magnificently on that occasion.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. That execution is just flawless, as apart from that TK nade. But yeah, they know their strat. The Mechanic is taking the bomb every single time, and he's still got that UAV that he still hasn't used. So I'm not sure what, and probably just not really needing it. But the nades go out, the smokes go out, the smokes go into the B bomb site as they are holding back a little bit. But Mechanic's still sitting right above the B bomb site. There's absolutely no one has gone down yet. Oh, but Pinion takes down the Farik. And then he takes down the Tick as well, who tries to move around into... they're trying to make a move into the vending machine room where in the previous round... Oh, he tries to go for a knife, but he doesn't get it. Oh, he tries to take out the Mechanic, who dropped down.
He sat there looking at him. He sat there looking at him, wondering whether he should reload or he should fire or he should wait for the knife. It was brilliant.
The Mechanic sitting on the roof, and he dropped down, planted it, and turned around, and there was the Pinion, who went to try and go for the knife, but he didn't actually fire at him. It may have been RC, it may have been the animation lag, not lag so much, but the time that it takes to put the bomb down and pull out the weapon.
No, I think he was just a downy. 7 rounds to 6 on the ArseyNimz scoreboard as another one goes to the Space Ghost. They managed to get the defuse quite happily and comfortably. Xeon, the man who grabs the extra few points in that regard, and the server finally ticks itself over into the 14th round. So interesting times coming up for the Brotherhood. They've got they've got to get 4 rounds, 5 rounds in fact, and a number of rounds they have left is starting to tick over in the wrong direction for them. So it looks like we're going to get 1 man down, 3 men up this time round. No nades being thrown out from the Brotherhood just at this point in time. Tick, he grabs one down the bottom. That's Vestia. That's the LMG taken down, and Eddie Spitty is up the top here. Now you don't manage to fire half a clip into the wall in front of him. And none over towards Eddie Spitty. So Sage takes out Farik, so that's upstairs inside there. I'm not sure whether it'll be inside the boardroom as I just continue to watch Now You Don't and Eddie Spitty take a little firefight across the top of the building towards each other. Now You Don't loses out as Eddie Spitty gets the AK-47. He has definitely given away the ACOG on the G36, so Arsey wins that little tete-a-tete as Sage comes down and takes out the mechanic. So it's all left up to the tick as he cops a bit of heat from upstairs at the boardroom, jumps out the back next to the dumpsters and then bails across towards the lobby side. He grabs the speaking of G36s, he's got his with the red dot on. He seems to be enjoying that weapon for some strange reason, and he's not doing too badly with it, seeing as he's topping for the Brotherhood at 12 and 10. So he makes his way inside the lobby, decides that he'll bail on. Oh, gets upstairs and gets down by the pin. AK-47 wins out on that round, and 8 rounds to 6 on the Gamer scoreboard is the score. 6 rounds left, 5 required for the Brotherhood.
Yes, I was just watching the the Brotherhood. I think at least 3 of them actually have UAVs. It's very interesting. I'll just scroll through them now. The Tick has a UAV, and no, it's just the Tick. So I'm not sure. I could have sworn I saw.
You are a downy.
Anyway, as the bomb starts to move across to A again, and it's actually more towards the mid. But Vesha gets taken down by Ferric's nade that he cooked nicely from the office there. Takes a bit of heat from a man over in the green room. Pinion takes down the Tick as he jumps out into the middle of the I think it was the middle of the broadcast room. As Mechanic has the bomb again. Pinion takes down No You Don't. Now You Don't. Farik goes down to Xeon. Xeon's sitting inside that green room now, and he's underneath the stairs protecting that, and it's all left up to the Mechanic. Mechanic's been seen and taken a lot of fire as he tries to take down one of the men from Space Ghost and gets hammered from behind from the Pinion, who moved up into the top office and looked across there, saw the man, and gave him a few rounds in the back.
9 rounds to 6 on those Gamer School, but sorry, only a couple required from the Space Ghost, and we've pretty much picked it right, dude, in that the Brotherhood were going to struggle without that 5th man, but they're still putting up a decent enough fight, just not getting the rub of it in some respects. So they've done a 2-2 split this time around, sending 2 up the top of the B side and 2 over towards the A side. One of them's gone upstairs in the form of the Now You Don't. He's about to push through into the filing cabinets room, and Tick is just held down the bottom, looking in towards the bottom level there, just in case anybody pops out to the front of the lobby. He's going to back his man and go upstairs, and they're both going to push through at the same time. One's carrying the P90, so that'll be Now You Don't. And as I say that, he gets taken down by the Sage, and we've got the other 2 Brotherhood players. They've decided they'll go up on that right-hand side, on that B side, and they've pushed through into the outer ring up the top there. So they're currently just waiting in around the lobby, upstairs at the lobby in that outer ring. So just watching as the Tick pushed around the corner, and he got taken out by Xenon straight away. The Mechanic takes out, gets taken down by Pinion. So it's pretty much all over Red Rover right at this point in time. They're just waiting for Farik to pop his head out. Pinion sees it, takes it off, and the AK-47 is the weapon that does it. 10 rounds to 6 on the Gamer scoreboard. The players, that Pinion was just upstairs in the boardroom there. So I just have to ask the question whether they're checking out all their nooks and crannies, the Brotherhood guys, and I suppose that's a bit of a negative in the fact that they've only got 4 players. They don't have the opportunities to really muck around looking around all these nooks and crannies, but probably they should be taking it a little bit slower with the 4 players, get those extra picks.
Yeah, and it looks like they're doing a very, very heavy B push as they are all on top of the B bomb sites. Farik smokes it out, nades it out, nades are going out, and they are the entire team is on top of that B bomb site. So Mechanic should drop down and plant, but he's not. He rotates around to the stairwell, and Eddie Spetty says g'day with his 47, and the entire Brotherhood team pretty much start firing upon him, and he's obviously called his entire teammates across. He's gotten a stun to the face, but Vesha comes in and helps him out, taking down Now You Don't, and Farik takes down the Vesha to take one back for his team. It's a 2v4 situation, 2v3 situation as Farik takes down the Xeon and starts spamming across towards the Pinion, but Tick takes him down. So it's a 2v2 situation. Brotherhood still have a chance to bring this round back as Eddie Spetty downs the Farik and moves across to the top of the B bomb site. Gets hammered by a headshot by the Tick. And it's now left all up to the Tick and Sage, the two top men for the Space Ghost and Brotherhood respectively. And the tick just up the top of the stairwell with Sage sitting around. In fact, over at the
Why does
B
nobody
entrance.
use the stairwell glitch jump, dude, on GA? Why don't they use it?
I don't think they realise that it's there, man. But
dear. Okay.
anyway, the
I'll
tick's
shut up
got. I think it's literally just the quality, or the hardcoreness of the teams involved. But Sage sitting up in the top corner office. He's dropped down to the main into the main broadcast room. 6 seconds left on the clock as Tick gets the bomb plant and turns it up to 54 seconds until it actually explodes. The Sage they're gonna find each other right next to each other. Sage throws a nade. Tick knows exactly where he is.
Hey!
Sage backs himself in there, and Tick says, yeah, back that ass up, and he takes him down, and 10 rounds to 7 on the Ozgame scoreboard.
Is to use the immortal words of that man. That was literally a bang bang in the anus. So we roll out into the next round here. 10 rounds still on the board for the Space Ghost. So they've still got that match point in hand, and they are still ever looming towards it. I think it was 7 on the scoreboard for the Brotherhood, so they've got a few rounds to pick on up. And that's, of course, that means they have to pick up all of them. So just a slow push here from the Brotherhood boys. They're still gone B-side, but they've done it slowly. So Eddie Speedy pops out towards his little vents, and he's got to be careful the freak as he doesn't get taken down. He cops a whole lot of heat in behind the barrels, but he also was using them as great cover. He gets taken down in the end there by his own man. It was by his own man. Tick takes out the intended target in the form of the Tick. Pinion drops 2. He takes out the Tick and also directs out. Now you don't. Mechanic drops the Pinion from the back door. And he is the only player remaining. He's just currently hidden himself with his MP5 at the top of the boardroom, just in that little Overwatch area as you're looking down in towards the mid area. He takes a few shots onto one player and fails hard as Sage trips him out. That'll be the GGs as Space Ghost grab the round. 11 rounds to 7 on this game of scoreboard. 2 to go. And yes, it was certainly a good game, and I just have to feel for Brotherhood. I think they would have been well in it if they'd had the full complement.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm not sure who their other players are, but or at least who their fifth is. But if you look at the scoreboard, there's none of them are really anchoring, or at least you can't really point the finger at anyone. They're all pretty evenly balanced, and Vesia's probably the only one for the Space Ghost, but who's at the bottom. He's on 6 for 10, but he just picked up a kill. He took down the mechanic, and the bomb went down by the mechanic on its way to A, and everyone else went down as well. Sage taking down the Tick. Now you don't going down to Pinion, and Vesia throwing another nade and get taken down the Freak. So it's 7 rounds to 12. Space Ghost take another one.
Yeah, indeed they do. So shout-outs to the Pinion. He's grabbed himself 20 kills for 10 deaths, so he's carrying a 2-1 KDR at the moment. And also over on the other side, the Tick, he's grabbed himself 16 kills, so he's doing pretty good also. So just watching with the Brotherhood as they start to push through. Tick's got himself that G36 with the red dot, and he's grabbed himself not 1 but 2 kills. The Vesia's grabbed a nade, and Pinion felt the wrath of the G36 down the bottom of the B side there. So some good work from the Tick man on the rollout. That'll at least allow them another round worth of pride, I suppose we should say. So it's a 4-on-3 situation at the moment. The mechanic is just in there with the Tick at the moment, down in that data room. He's got the bomb in hand also with his M4 carbine. And he's just going to take a little scoot across towards the A side, check inside in that broadcasting room and see if there's anybody in there. There's nobody floating around, but he cops a few bullets coming his way from the Sage, who was in the back, hiding behind the blue screen, and he took him down. The G36 being the weapon of choice. G36 is in back, takes out the Sage. Now you don't take out Eddie Speed with the AK, and it's a 3-on-1 situation. The player remaining is Xeon, and he's got the G36 with the ACOG on it. He gets taken down as Farik takes him accordingly. 12 rounds to 8. Means the final score is all done and the GGs will fly.
Yeah, I was just watching those. The players that I mean, they're using the G36. It's a okay weapon, but the ACOG scope. Now the only problem with the ACOG scope is one that I've heard. Well, the one thing I've heard is that it does mess with the aim, and the reticle doesn't actually isn't actually where you're shooting. The other obvious reason is that when you are going to bring up the sight, it takes a long time to actually bring it up, especially in comparison to an iron sight. So that's something to consider when they're actually attaching that. Yeah,
it is. But either way,
words of wisdom there.
Yeah, I just struggle with the whole concept of a G36 in a scrim with the rate of fire that it has, and the I mean the whole advantage to a G36 is the lack of recoil. But obviously, with that lack of recoil, you've lost some power on it, and you've also lost some rate of fire. So, and that's why the fact is the AK-47 doesn't recoil unless you hold down mouse 1. If you tapping, which is pretty much what the rate of fire on a G36 does anyway, then I think it's a better weapon. If you tapping, it recenters itself to the same point off its recoil. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Either way, each to their own, and that's exactly what these GA players do. P90s, G36s, RPDs, the lot. So we can't now get them for that dude, and that's their call. And certainly it worked for the Space Coast this evening to an extent. But yeah, I think I can quite happily call it that the G36 with an ACOG does not work.
Yeah, and I agree. I mean, if you're going for that no recoil, then surely you'd pull out the M4 or the M16 if you don't mind the burst. But the G36, I mean, yeah, there's a reason most teams don't use it. But anyway, from final words from me, I'd just GG to the Space Ghost, and bad luck to the Brotherhood. I know there were actually, I would say if there was a 5v5 situation in that match, that it would have been a lot closer, and possibly if it was on a map that both teams would scrim regularly, like Crash, Backlight, Vacant, or Strike, that would have could have played out very differently.
Yeah, you'd be dead right there, my son. That's definitely for sure. So, I'd shout out to the Space Coast. They requested the game, and of course they turned it up for us. Unfortunately for the Brotherhood, they obviously gave the game to them a little easier than it had to be, because they couldn't turn up with the full complement. So, GG's all round nonetheless. And on behalf of GameStop, we've got to give a GG out to OzGamers for all the latest news, reviews, downloads, and anything that is gaming for both PC and console. Should on over and log into ozgamers.com. Obviously, congrats do go out to the Space Coast. They have defeated the Brotherhood. It was around about 12 rounds to 8 in the end on the map of a broadcast. It was GameArena's PAM4 ladder, and we've got more awesome action for you coming out from that. We've managed to just secure the 1v3 match, which will be coming up for you next week, and that comes in the form of the defense of Conrad is going to inform me, because I've forgotten who's challenging them, but the defense of the top spot from the WHC. And who are they taking on? Is it Walkout?
It's a deadly combination.
DC coming in. That's right. Yeah, DC got a no-show from the Wargrounds, so they took top 3, and indeed the map will be crashed. So we've got that game coming up for you. That won't be until early next week, I think it is. So make sure you keep an eye out for that one. But of course, we've got plenty more COD4 coverage coming for you, including in about 15 minutes. C-RAD will be back with the Death Adder. They'll be taking on a bit of a lease of life, and of course later on this evening, Got Game Sevo, the big game, the first of the finals, the 1v2 match, will be coming up for you in World at War, so keep an eye out for that one. In the meantime, on behalf of C-RAD and of myself, ArseyNimz, the whole team here at GameStar would like to thank you for listening, and we look forward to your company next time.
Gamer, do you know what it takes to be the best? Because we do.
The Elite Shoutcasting Network.
Are you listening?